screen over here. Good morning. It is Wednesday, November 11th, 2020, Veterans Day, and thank you. My name is Terry Morgan, and we are here to practice Tai Chi. I have a couple of things that we've been working on this week. Our standing stationary practice, holding practice, building some strength to hold the postures as we move through the forms, and then listening skill, Tinger, listening strength, which is the ability, more than to hear, it's more the ability to sense something that's going on, whether it's within your own body or whether it's within someone else's. For example, in push hands, your opponent. We're also going to pay attention in a set to this concept of substantial and insubstantial. This is more the idea that there is substance to the movement as opposed to a movement that is empty. Emptying skill, Conjure, that's emptying skill, Conjure, is a skill that we want to be able to use, but it should be intentional. Just the mind, right? Your intent, you decide whether your movement is substantial or insubstantial. And for the most part in practice, we're going to practice being substantial. There's substance to what we're doing. There should be. Alright, so first we have some stretches. First I have my coffee. First we have some stretches, and then we'll get to work. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Talk about this just for a second. Alright, so know this, know this. Know this. Right? You want the chin to tuck in just a little bit so that if you had a string to pull up, you would feel that pull through the back of your neck all the way down your spine. Nice, natural alignment. Everything's open. Breathe. Hand circle in the front. Up along center line. And reach out. Bend the knees. Extend, reach out. Open the hips. Make sure and bend the knees. Stay over your legs. So don't reach out too far. And as you come up, don't lean back. 2 more. Roll up. Stretch up. Inward. Elbows drop down. Wrists follow the fingertips. Bend the knees. Use the legs to come up. You should feel the work in the back of the leg, the side of the leg, upper part of the leg, and the hip. Roll down. Two more. Follow the circle. Smooth and continuous. Inward. Last time. And come to center. Left side, right side. I'm going to turn around. Hands up along center line. Turn left. Come up on the right. Keep the circle smooth. Use the legs, open the hips. Come to center. Right side. Come to center. Elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Stay there for just a minute. Well, not a minute. Half a second. Let's do our walking sets. Shift left, open right. Transfer the weight. Hip over the heel. Relax the shoulders. Don't lean. Pay attention to your step. Where do you put your foot? All right, as the foot comes through, where do I put it? And shift back, turn in, step behind. Same thing here. Where do I put my foot? It's a little bit more difficult going backward than it is forward. You have to be able to find that spot. Alright, our Tai Chi form, I'm still going back one more. Our Tai Chi form has forward and backward moves, right? We have a lot of things moving forward. Stand straight. Push back the monkey, stepping backward. This stepping method, right? Both feet straight. I'm going to turn out. And as I step forward, bring my foot back, I want about one of my fists in between my heels. Right? That's true no matter which direction I'm going. If I'm going forward, I'm going backward. The stepping method, that's my foot position. Being able to find it reliably. Again, perfect, no. Reliably, yes. Right? So part of that comes from the hip. Knowing where my leg is, center of my hip, gives me 90% of where I need to go with this foot. The other part is how wide is my hip, because that's fundamentally what you're doing with your fist, is you're measuring the width of your hip in your stance. So if I step out here, I'm much too wide to be going in this direction, not straight ahead. I might use this for something in an application in I'm actually moving and doing something. I might take that step. But normally in our form, we're not going to do that because it's too wide. Likewise, I've talked about the idea that if I'm going in this direction and my foot's over here, I'm not going to get very far, right? Most of the time that doesn't happen. Most of the time what happens is this. So if I pull my foot straight back, my front foot hits my back foot. That's what happens most of the time. If you stand like that, unless you're a dancer and you're hitting third position, you're not going to be stable. All right? I'm fairly stable. I got a nice, just second, first, second, yeah, third. Nice third. My turnout's not so good anymore, right? But that's what keeps the vertical, is the turnout through the hips and the legs in this stance. This isn't something you're going to do in Tai Chi, right? This doesn't belong in Tai Chi. This one belongs in Tai Chi, right? That's a little bit wide. I can manage, right? So as we're practicing our walking sets, right? Bring foot through. Where am I going to put it? Am I going to put it over here? No, I'm going to put it here. So that when I bring it back, I have roughly one of my fists in between both heels. Your footwork gives you the base for your balance. If your footwork is off, no matter what else you do, there will be difficulty with that move. So, very important to pay attention. Where's my foot? Where's it supposed to be? And have I put it in a place where I have the best balance, right? Everything's well aligned. Have I put my foot in the place where I am going to achieve the best balance for the step that I have and for the move that I have? I'm going to put this in the form. Pay attention to, for right now, I'm going to pay attention to stepping methods. So focus on your step. Try to keep your step even and regular, and pay attention to where you should put your foot compared to where you may have put your foot. If it's in the right place, yay. If it's not, make a note of it, keep going. And next time, as you get ready to do that move, pay closer attention to where you put your foot. Let's practice. Feet together, stand straight, relax the shoulders, pull up through the crown of the head, breathe in, salute, breathe out. Breathe in, all the way to the right, release the left, open, footwork, placement, and press down, shift left, open right, transfer through. And step right, forward off, turn, pull down, press, and push. Turn, single whip. Elbows drop in, hands come in, raise your hands, turn, white crane spreads its wings, fresh knee, step up, hands tremolute, fresh knee, deflect downward, parry, and punch. Shift back, close the door, turn, crossing hands, turn, diagonal brush knee, cross, grasp the bird's tail, pull down, press, and push. Turn, push out, footwork, fist under the elbow, push back the monkey, hold ball, diagonal flying, shift back, raise your hands, white crane spreads its wings, fresh knee, needle at sea bottom, bend through the back, Turn around, hold fist, and chop. 1, 2, 3. Deflect downward. Parry. And punch. Shift back, ward off, left side. Ward off right side. Grasp the bird's tail, pull down. Press. Push. Turn. Single whip. Palms up. Left foot turns in. Right foot closes. Both hands press down. Straighten. Left closes to the right. Salute. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. It can be difficult to pay attention to your footwork only while you're trying to do so many other things. It's something that as we practice, in order to improve one part, we have to focus on that one part, right? So focusing on everything all at once isn't going to get everything all at once better. Foot method, hand method, body method, waist, timing issues, all of these things, we want to take the movement apart. Pay attention to all of the small details for whatever that thing is that we're paying attention to today, right? And then bring it back together. Right. So the footwork, this idea, I'm going to tie this into this idea of substantial and insubstantial. As I'm standing here, I have decided that I'm going to be more substantial. Right? So I'm not skinny. I've lost a bunch of weight for the last couple of years, last year or two. But I'm not skinny. I've never been skinny. I'm also not a big person. So when I try to focus on making my body substantial, if you were to push against me, you would feel something that is a little more solid than otherwise. You would also have a sense of my being heavier than I look, right? This is the idea of being substantial. Dancers, we have it's make yourself heavy, drop. I'm not going anywhere, drop. Make yourself light. I'm going to go up and float and do some jumps, right? So we come down and we go up. We have this in Tai Chi. We have it in our Qigong. We have it's the yin and yang thing again. All right, so insubstantial. I still want to be, for Tai Chi purpose, right? To be insubstantial, I still want to be connected. But it's as if all of the weight is gone. The movement appears quiet and soft. It should also have a sense of energy to it, right? So there's the limp noodle that's been cooked for 40 minutes. It's really, angel hair pasta doesn't need 40 minutes to cook. It really doesn't. It's not good. Right? Or there's properly, it's flexible, it's soft, and perfectly cooked so that whatever flavor you have comes through. That's what you want for Taiji. That perfectly cooked, yeah, since I'm doing food, that perfectly cooked noodle, okay? I'm going to give you an example. And then we're going to practice, and we're going to use Panglu Jian from our Yang Style Tai Chi to work on the legs. All right? Legs and footwork. Should be a little bit of waist. Put the waist in there. All right, so this is the angel hair pasta cooked for 40 minutes. I'm just going to do brush knee. Angel hair pasta cooked for 40 minutes, brush knee. Posture is, yeah, more or less correct, but, hey. All right. Nicely cooked noodles. Brush knee. Okay, this is still focusing on being insubstantial. Okay, this is the nicely cooked insubstantial. And I want it to be insubstantial. More substance. Last time. I'm hopeful that you can see the difference. If you were in the room with me, you can feel the difference. Same old thing. All right, so for our practice this morning, this idea of substantial and insubstantial. Being able to hold, maintain the posture, and then be able to move through it to the next. A real good example of this, that we don't have to move the feet, we can really focus on that, is right here at the beginning. And I'm going to turn around so you can follow me. Right? Grasp the bird's tail, turn the waist, come back to center, and back foot, back leg, shift back, and come forward. Okay? All of these can be Panglu Jian, can be substantial or insubstantial depending on your intent. They shouldn't look like the angel hair pasta that's cooked for 40 minutes, okay? No. Energy, whether that's lighter or more substantive, there's energy in the move. The leg work and the holding strength, because that's what we're talking about. So I beat up on foot position already, right? Foot position needs to be correct. So my stance needs to be correct. That's where I'm going to stay for a minute. So it needs to be correct. Right? And then this idea of shifting. Going back and forward. And if you'll notice, I'm really extending my legs on this. And that's what I want for this exercise. Really extend the legs. If you're working a little bit higher, it's okay, but take a wider stance. So that as you push forward, the back of the leg straightens, push into the heel and push yourself forward. As you go back, the front leg pushes backward, right? So we'll push forward, push back, push forward, push back. That's what you want to do for this exercise right now, okay? Good stance. All right. Check your foot. Yep, close enough. Shift forward. Not doing anything with the hands right now. Shift forward, shift back. And push forward. And push back. As you push forward, your front leg pushes down and back. As you push back, your back leg pushes down and forward. Opposing forces through the legs. Right arm up. Left hand under the right hand. Turn the waist. Push back. Turn the waist. And push forward. Push back. And push forward. Do it again. Right hand across, left hand underneath the right. Turn. Pull down. Shift back. Focus on the legs. Push forward. Shift back. And forward. Again. Turn. Shift back, pull down. Push. Shift back. And forward. Rest for a minute. Alright, I'm going to talk about this because I know it's visible. You will see as I'm doing some of these moves, you're going to see my waist doing some things that I haven't talked about a lot yet. As we practice, the idea that all of our movement comes from the lower Tantian. Everything comes from the lower Tantian. It drives the movement, it drives the chi. Everything extends from and goes out from the lower Tantian and returns to. So as I'm moving, in some places I've simplified, right? This is not the advanced class yet. So I've simplified some things so that it's easy to understand and that I can create those building blocks, right? It's not, this is not a, this is not, I mean, let me put it another way. As you practice, there are certain things that you can develop as a result of other things that you've done, okay? You can't straight up go to being able to do what has taken somebody else like me 40 years to practice to get to. You can't get there. Step by step. Can you get to a pretty good level and it won't take you 40 years? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but just like I can't go play Chopin right now, I'm still looking up my scales, right? I can't do it. I'd like to, but I can't. I can't skip that part. I have to go do the scales and get my hands so they'll work and get my eyes so they work to read the music so that I can follow along with whatever it is, and I'm not starting with Chopin. It's not happening. Okay, so the same thing here. I could start with some things that are much more focused on the internal practice and be talking about how we're going to circulate the energy in the lower Tantian and extend it through the hand. But that's not going to make any sense unless you've developed the practice unless you've developed the physical body openness, right, to be able to do that. It prerequisites, right? So when I talk about opening the hip, talk about extending the leg, opening the body, everything moving. This opens the body. Step one. So that the chi can circulate, the breath and the chi can circulate. Connect the breath and the movement. Connect the chi and the breath. Connect the mind with the chi. Connect the intent with the mind. Connect the spirit and the energy into a single whole. That's what we're looking for. It's not today I know this and I can explain it today. Understanding it is one thing, being able to do it is another. That's why we practice. Let's do this set one more time. I'm going to face this way. So the stance is a little bit wider, and I am going to take it a little bit lower than what we would normally do. So normally I'm about here. We're here. All right? Turn. Shift back. Don't come up. Stay there. Press. Push. Again. And turn. Pull down. Press. Try not to come up. Push. Your waist stays parallel to the ground. Yes, it's a lot of work in the legs. Let's do the other side. Make them equally sore, right? Yes, wide stance. Left side. Pull down. Press. Push. Pull down. Press. Push. One more. All right, relax. If you were at more or less the same level, your legs are a little sore right now. Good. All right. This is part of practice, right? So, substantial, insubstantial, listening. You now have an opportunity to listen to your legs. What are they telling you? All of the protest coming from up here, listen to it. Those are the muscles that you want to be able to use. Right? I'll be back tomorrow with Wudang Qigong, Friday Qigong again, and next week with Tai Chi. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.